Welcome everybody to this episode of Strong Perspective Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Keith Armstrong, and I'm with anybody can jump in, brother.
Uncle Spoke.
Your boy Damon. You know what I'm saying? AKA Flute Dog.
Yeah, I mean,
You know what I mean?
at
Yeah,
the end of the
man.
day, you know what I'm saying?
Stacking it up to the highest level and being what I be.
Absolutely.
Can you dig it?
Can you dig it, man? Right now, I've been thinking about the fact that we have been at this thing for 2 years, bro. For 2 years. Doesn't really seem like it. But that's 2 years, man. That is, to me, that's phenomenal. For the simple fact that when you're having a good time, when you're enjoying yourself, that's a great thing. You know what I mean? That is a very, very good thing.
Bro,
Yeah.
we had two, we're working on three.
I just throw two up there because I'm not really sure exactly the numbers to it. You know what I'm saying? But I was scrolling through our page, our YouTube page, counting, the new subscribers, 1 to 2, and I saw the dates. I was like, wow, okay, you know what I'm saying? That's a great thing because what it is consistency. You know. Now I told y'all last night. I it's easy. It's easy to come on here every Friday at 7:30 live on Facebook, on IG, on Instagram. I said IG, Instagram, and on our YouTube channel. So when you make it that easy, brother, it's a beautiful thing. But look, let me do a little bit of housekeeping, then we're gonna move forward to some other things. This is Strong Perspective Podcast. If you don't mind, go to our YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe. Check out our shorts. We've been building up our shorts catalog. We got some great shorts up there. Please like them. Help them to build momentum. You know what I mean? And do what they got to do. You know what I'm saying? Because every little bit helps. But like, share, and subscribe. And we thank you ahead of time. All right, Jaquari, how was your day today, brother?
My day was passable, man. Today was the first day I had to go back to work on Fridays. My telework situation from COVID was suspended officially, and I'm on site 5 days a week now, and I'm gonna have to get used to it. But at least I got a job.
No doubt. Damon, what about you, brother? How are you today?
I had I think I'm coming down with something, man. Real talk, man. So I was struggling this morning, but it all worked out. Thank God. And so
You
far,
coughed it out.
Man, you don't know the half of them. My son picking the door and say, "Hey, man, are you all right?"
Damn.
But yeah, it worked itself out, man. And I feel good about this podcast, man. You know what I'm saying? I feel good about tonight, man. I look forward to seeing you guys, man. For real.
Yeah. I always do. I always look forward to it because I think that we always go down some great paths. Either it's the three of us or we have guests. We end up talking about some very interesting things, man, which is a plus. It really is. You know what I mean? I tell you, the funny thing is, the older I get, that's why I said, did you cough it out? Because I know it's been mornings, especially in the wintertime. When you get up, you're like, here. Then you brush your teeth. And, I don't know, there's some active ingredients in that toothpaste. It grabs every little bit of phlegm that you got in your whole head cavity, even some of your brain fluid.
You want to talk about phlegm? Look, I'll tell you what, man. I was telling you guys about that cleanse I took yesterday.
Yeah.
Shit. I can't recall the name of it, man, but I'll give you the name of it when we get off air. And, you use that. And after you use it, you go stand in the cool shower and shit. And get yourself back to right. I mean, that's man. I was exhausted, man. I was physically exhausted after that. I didn't know what the hell I done to myself, man.
Hey, Jaquan, so you wasn't standing there talking about like SpongeBob water.
Yeah.
Man, look, my eyes was wider when I got done with that damn thing.
Well, it's designed to get all the impurities out of you, man.
Right. Everything, goddamn. I mean, it was bad, man. It was bad. Like
you need to say what the name of it was so you can get that endorsement money or whatever they call it when you are pushing a product.
Yeah, I mean, hey, as efficient as it is, I will never buy it again, man. I have no desire to put myself through this shit again at all.
They say, man, how did it work? I was stripped clean, man.
Yeah, it's fucking excellent. It's excellent. It do what it say. It do what it say it's gonna do.
Right. So if you telling me if it worked, yes.
Hey, look, I just realized what the name of it is. It's called Clean Out.
Yeah.
No, it's gonna clean out large and small intestines.
Oh, it's everything, man. It's called Burnacetol. Burnacetol.
Hey, look, I have a TikTok account, man. It is funny. I almost came. They got what they call a 15-day cleanse, right? And they said it was a woman on there that was crying because she went through the same thing that you went through. She couldn't understand that it worked. I'm saying,
man. Look, in the midst of it, man, I was thinking about my diet. I was like, what the fuck? Hey, man, I don't eat hot ass lava peppers or nothing like that. Why is my shit trying to kill me at this point? It's like I was shitting lava and acid, man.
No.
The people want to know.
No. The people want to know.
The people.
Look. The people wanted to know, but then all of a sudden you want to give us a squirt by squirt description.
Oh my God, man! I'm stuck on that catchphrase that should go viral. Burn acetol.
Yeah,
man. Hey, man. Look, is vain and is self-aggrandizing as I am, man. There's been very few things that have humbled me throughout my life, man. You understand what I'm saying? In this situation, man, in this case, that motherfucker won. I give up.
What you say?
I don't even think.
Man, I ain't sucked my thumb in years. I had to fight this.
I have no intentions on finishing the bottle, man. I don't.
No doubt.
I don't mean to laugh at you, bro. You're pain and suffering and shit.
That's a good thing, though, man. To be honest,
right? But it's funny how
it's flushing out your impurities, man, and that's what make us sick too. Inside sick. You know.
Yeah. It's funny how you took that shit to clean out your system. Now you got to drink a gallon of water to clean that shit out your system.
Oh man. And it tastes like berries.
Berries.
Yeah. It was good. I said, shit,
It had to be some pleasantries to it, then, huh?
Hey, yo, look at this. This ain't bad, man. Shit, I might as well go ahead. I might as well go ahead and double up. Yeah.
Well, you said you found out whether or not a bear shit in the woods. If he's eating berries, he damn sure is.
These here bears, yeah. I could imagine the news now, man. A Woodbridge man was found dead after he shot himself to death. You know what I'm saying, man? I done had some embarrassing moments in my life, man. But yeah, it is what it is, man. I appreciate y'all patience, man, for letting me talk about my shit cycle and shit.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I think, and I kind of figured it out today. Yeah, tell me what y'all think about it before we move on to what we want to talk about. I get to the point, man, where I do get paranoid in thinking what we see seems to be designed for us to see it. Right? Where if you're a paranoid human being, you wouldn't watch TV. Hell, you wouldn't look at social media because it's coincidentally piling on. It piles on everything. Everything is extreme. Like, think about this. The word virus was always a bad word, right? Then, now this is paranoid mind thinking. Then, viral became associated to money. And that's all people talk about now. It's going viral. Where that word was reclassified. It still means the same thing as far as a virus to make you sick, right? But then you put an AL on that situation now as money. Cha-ching, ching, cha-ching, ching. It's associated to money.
Isn't that apropos though? I mean, is strong a word as viral is to associate it with money? I mean, because the way people are pursuing dollars nowadays, man, it's a sickness. It really is.
I get it. Well, what you think, Luke?
I think, man, that can a word like viral change its connotation, man? Apparently so. You know.
It kind of means the same. It kind of means the same, but
it means the same, but
you got money attached to it on this other end of the spectrum.
Right, and it's all about the outcome. Yeah, I think it means the same, and mean the other thing also because you don't know what the outcome is going to be. You don't know how people are going to be receptive to you or whatever information you're putting out there. So
I'm gonna tell you the funny thing about it is most people don't see it. Most people who are in this business right here chase the viral moment. But they don't understand that viral moments happen majority of the time by accident. It happened by happenstance.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, because you think about it, right? Cat Williams. He went on there with the intention of what he did, right? But he had no idea that people gave a shit about them damn comedians. He had no idea. He went on there because he was on tour, right? So he wanted to drum up. This is my assumption. Wanted to drum up some business, right? And also, every man, except for maybe one or two people, said something negative about him. You know, most of them, like four of them, four of them said it on Shannon's show. You feel me?
Right. So he had an agenda when he went on
Yeah.
there.
Not agenda to go viral and get Shannon rich, but to get he had a platform for people to hear him now. And he treated it like a stand-up special. That's why I kind of liked it, because that's how I saw it.
Even if he had an agenda, I mean, the fact that he was addressing things that were said about him previously, he had justification.
Yeah. I mean, because like I said, even if he had the intentions on doing it, right? But for it to go as viral, I keep saying that word, as viral as it did, it was by accident. He wasn't aware of that.
I think he went through the whole thing with fair exchange ain't no robbery, man. You got something to say about me, then I'm gonna give it back to you. You know what I'm saying? So
I agree. But that's a funny thing, man. Now, words like that other thing where everybody get their manhood questioned with the little no homo game. Hey, man, we just talked about this, man. Mute your mic when you moving furniture, dude.
man, I didn't know it was registering like that, man. My bad.
No, I'm joking, but still, man. But look,
At least you ain't
Flo,
say, "Oh, here he go again, y'all."
Hey, Flo. It was like this. Somebody was scratching a chalkboard.
Did he say, well, I didn't know it was going to register like that. Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
Well, man, one thing about me, I'm trying to get comfortable, man. I'm fine.
Hey, man, shit. Let me do me. Hey, I ain't really disrupting shit.
At least I wasn't over here talking about, hold on, y'all, man. Oh, man, I got to stretch this bad boy out, man. Oh, my God.
Man,
and scratching the floor.
Every so often when I turn the camera off, I gotta stand up and stretch my legs. Okay.
No, we know because we hear them knees pop.
Hey.
Hey, look, I remember them days. I don't have them days no more. All you hear is the smooth hinges move when I walk. Yeah. Look, I was in the I had on a pair of shorts, right? And this old white woman walked up. They get real bold when they get older, man.
They do.
You big mandingo. No, but she was looking at my legs, right? She said, "Oh, you got 2 scars," and talking about my scars from my knee replacement, right? And it was funny what she said. I said, "Yeah, I got them both replaced." And the stigma of how people are when they find out you got your knee replaced. They're like, "Oh, I'm so high. Sorry to hear that." Ooh. I said, "No, this is the best thing that I've ever done." You know what I'm saying? Unless you caught up in the religious thing, leaving with what you came in with. I get it, whatever, right? But the pain that I was experiencing while on the job, running up and down them roads, them halls, them whatever alleys, right? That pain that I was experiencing, when I got the first one replaced in 2017, man, I thought I stole $1 million, man. And nobody knew about it. You know what I'm saying? Because I had that look on my...
You telling motherfucker with healthy knees. I better get on board with this.
Yeah. Go ahead and cut out the middleman, man, and get rid of them motherfuckers, man.
Look, let me tell you something. What I did do was this. It wasn't that I was promoting it, but when I ran into someone who had the same problems that I did, and they asked me about it, I said, "Look, It was the best thing that I've ever done. I said, because first and foremost, it lifted an anxiety off of me that I wasn't aware that I had. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that pain every single day, that pain that you get used to, no matter what ailment you have, if you feel me, you feel what I'm saying? No matter what ailment you suffer from, you're not aware because you're used to it.
Yep.
Not completely used to it, but used to it to the fact that you can function. When it's
I was about to
taken
say,
away,
really getting used to it.
I mean, look, enough that you can function. But once that pain is taken away, I didn't know what to do with myself. I didn't.
You have pain, and then you have chronic pain that you have to live with. You have to figure out a way to navigate throughout your life.
Yeah.
And we deal with aches and pains, throughout the entirety of our lives, and we just get used to it. I know it sounds kind of funny that I put it this way, but I was blessed with having higher ups in my job that also suffer from chronic pain. You know what I mean? A couple of the same ailments. They know when I'm down. And they don't be on my back about it. You know what I'm saying?
I tell you, the worst pain that I've ever felt, and the two of you can relate. And this pain I had to experience because I was taking water pills and potassium that dehydrated me. But gout, ladies and gentlemen, gout pain is it is so acutely painful that it baffles you why it's painful. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's amazing. You know what I mean? And I became, and Damon used to tell me about it before I started the chronicness. You know what I'm saying? Because it's years of water pills and potassium pills. And then what I started doing was exercising more, drinking water, doing it the natural way, losing weight to get in shape. So I don't have to depend on those pills, because what pills do, medicine does, what I realize is, yes, it gives you comfort, but some of the medicines only give you temporary relief.
Yeah.
And you got to depend on them all the time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's temporary.
You remember that time when Smoke was clowning us about our gout, and he said that pretending he was rubbing it, and he said, "Man, my poor knees that got the seat down in my joints."
Hey man, look, I'm here to tell you, bro. The gout changed my goddamn life. Hey man, look, it made me a better person, man. It made me a better person, because I said, look, man, as bad as my feet is hurting on me, I can't scrap with nobody right now. So I got to use my words.
I tell you, Jaquari, and I can honestly say this, Jaquari has only been mad at me, fighting mad at me, I can honestly say, twice. And the one that I know he was mad, he was fighting mad, is when he first got an attack of gout.
And you know what, man? Before you continue, man, I'm gonna say, man, I wasn't mad because I felt like he was like, just belittling my experience or anything like that, man. I was mad because you got the goddamn gout, Keith.
Yeah.
You got the gout, so you know what I was going through.
I know. And what I was trying to do is, you know the remedy. We ain't gonna go into the remedy. I was trying to get him to do it And he was probably just around the corner, but he got to that point because we were supposed to leave here to go to Michigan. Is when I was being put in our high school Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
And Jaquari got to that point where he was so much in pain. And we joke about this, but this is some real stuff. Folks, it's from dehydration. Yes, it's rich red meat, some cauliflower, some shrimp. Yes. But
Candy bars.
dehydration. That's what
fructose syrup.
Yeah,
that's all that goes into it.
I was drinking beer, wasn't it?
Yeah. That's the worst. Matter of fact, beer is the worst thing for gout.
Yeah.
No, but look, that's the thing about it is Jaquari got to the point where he asked himself, do I really want to deal with this bullshit for this long? Because it's 11-hour drive. And that toe said, no, motherfucking no.
It was both big toes, man. Simultaneously. Both of them. And here's the thing, man, because you're not telling the whole story, Keith. You're not telling the whole story, Keith. I live in Woodbridge, Virginia. I don't care. I don't care if it's out on the net. I don't care. I live in Virginia, right? My oldest brother Keith lives in North Carolina. That's a 3-hour drive. Okay, now I got the gout in both toes. Done rode 3 hours. Get to his house. Everybody in his family is a night owl. And they sit up all night, every day. So I'm like, shit, Lord, if I could just give me some rest, man, you know, I can sleep. I can sleep through a little bit of this pain, man, you know, and be there for my brother Big Day and everything gonna be all right. But they ain't go to bed, so I ain't get that rest, right? And everybody around me is screaming this particular medicine. Take you some of this. I need you get you some of that. And I was told wasn't none in the house. But the very next morning, 2 people I found out was sitting on some. You telling me?
No, hold on.
Hold on.
Hey, Keith, he telling you his experience.
No. Yeah. Listen.
My wife and your wife had it, Keith.
No, remember, she looked for it. She didn't have it. She said, "Oh man, I used to have some of that," because she had gave it to me, and she looked for it, right? And look, and I said, "Well, look." Okay. When I said prednisone, right? You know, because prednisone, it'll give you some damn relief, right?
You could have said heroin.
This is what Jaquari said.
Give it to me.
Hey, this is what Jaquari said. Jaquari said, "Oh man, that Nikki be taking some of that." I said, "Man, call her up and ask her." You know what I'm saying? But look, here's the funniest shit. This is all time. First of all, Jaquari was standing in my front yard. When I say fighting mad, he was fighting mad. Because I came out, I said, "Yeah, man." I looked at him, I said, "Man, it's a shame that you can't go." I said, "You sure you can't go? You know how you do it. This the customary thing. I know this man getting in the damn car." He said, "What you mean? If I can go, I would have went." Keith, what is wrong with you? I'm looking at him. I'm looking at my eyes about this big. I say, "Hey, man, you need to calm down. I just asked you a question."
No, you came out there fucking with me, Keith.
No, hell no.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
No, I wanted you to go. So why would I come out there fucking?
I wanted to go there. Why would I?
Okay,
why would I drive through? Why would I drive 3 hours if I didn't intend to go?
But listen, you never heard me try to talk you out of it, because I knew what it felt like. And you said to me, Jaquari said to me, "Hey, I ain't never felt nothing like this in my life." And I knew exactly what he was talking about, right? So I would come out. I came outside, like I said, he's on that, and we standing up there. And then Nikki comes out. Oh man, look here.
She come outside shaking the bottle. Shaking the bottle. I'm like, man,
What?
that's it? That's it?
Look, here's the funny thing. When she came out shaking the bottle, I looked at Jaquari. I hugged him. I said, hey, man, you have a safe trip. I'm like, oh, man. But look, just to walk it back, son, drink plenty of water. Dehydration, because what gout is, just to give somebody some background, what gout is crystallized uric acid that settles into your joint, and it will destroy your joint if you continue to get these chronic attacks. It'll destroy your joint in your knuckles, your toes. See, I got the rarity. My gout, everybody else usually get in their ankles and their toes. I get my gout in my hands. You know what I'm saying? But make sure, yes, red meat, yeah, candy, sugary stuff. Yes, juice, all of that. If you are a gout sufferer, that's why they call it the rich man disease over in Old England. And they was cutting off toes. They was cutting off their own toes, man.
Hey, man, the pain I had, man, it was worth it.
Yeah.
And
that's what my ER doctor told me. I said, man, I'm sitting up there suffering all the way through. And I said, hey, man, what the hell they do back in the 1600s? Oh, Mr. They just lopped it off, man. It's about the same amount of pain. I said, damn. I had sympathy for those people back then. I said, Lord, thank you, Jesus. We in the days of,
Lord,
I was born in the days.
Yeah.
He was turning out to being born in slavery. I said, shit, man. Hey, I'm glad I was born when I was born.
Lord, I thank you for
but hey, I'm gonna tell y'all what works,
with the knowledge.
I'm gonna tell y'all what works, man. And my daughter hit me to this, man. Drinking water with lemon juice in it, man. That takes away the uric acid.
Yeah,
I haven't had a flare up, man, since. About a week.
It does. But see, and that's the thing about it is just trying to inform people, just let people know what's what, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and move on to because we only really got 2 topics today, and they're pretty good ones. That's why we only have 2 of them. So we'll save yours for last, Corey, because that's the best one. But my question to both you guys: I watched a podcast on IG. This young lady's name is Trinity Mitchell, and the name of the podcast is Your Friend Trent. Check it out on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, because what she does is she covers a lot of things, but it's really and truly Black empowerment. You know what I mean? Asking the questions why. But on her particular program, she had Pastor Jamal Bryant, and he's the pastor who preaches the word, but he also preaches financial literacy. You feel what I'm saying? And what she asked him with the clip that I saw, which really, truly piqued my interest, was she asked him, she said, do you think Black people should, and this is paraphrasing, do you think Black people should be intentionally supportive of their community? Intentionally supportive of their community. Meaning keeping the dollar within the community, within Black-owned businesses, circulating it through Black-owned businesses, right? And they were talking about how important it was to do so. And Pastor Bryant said something where it said the the Chinese community or Asian community, their dollars circulate at least 24 times before it leaves the community. Say the Jewish community, their dollars circulate at least 17 times before it leaves the community. And he said, with our community, he said the dollar lasts a couple hours before it leaves our community. And my question to you guys is, be honest and realistic about it. Is there a pro and con when it comes to buying black? First of all, do you feel we should do so? And secondly, why or why not?
I feel like we absolutely should invest in our, reinvest in, into our community because, it's going to make us stronger. I mean, when you consider the Asian communities and Jewish communities in particular, the ones you named in your example, they have things that yeah, I do agree that we need to, circulate our dollars in our community and everything. And come back to me, bro. Come back to me, man. Because, you ever had one of those moments, man, where, you had something to say and, before you say it, you thought it was poignant, but then, when it came time, you was like, well, I'm going to have to walk that back. So I'm not, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you said anything you need to walk back, man. You just gotta.
No, not yet, not yet.
Oh, you was about to.
I was about to, but yeah.
So, what do you think, Damon?
I think, man, that we got to look at it in a nuanced standpoint, man. When you think about the Chinese community, they have a certain diet. Consumers, the first thing they do is buy food. I'm saying the consumption of food, stuff like that. So they shop in certain. They have grocery stores and stuff like that cater to them. Same with the Jewish community because they eat kosher.
Yeah,
I'm saying, and that's where the bulk of your money goes to, man. Consumption of food and stuff like that. We in the Black community, we don't have that, man.
You don't think we have a specific diet?
Our diet is what, man?
We have a diet of everyday food. And the thing about it is, it has that's a great point that you made. But we can own the stores to you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but we don't own the stores.
That's what I'm speaking to more than anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because let me ask you this: is it fair to say that these communities I named, because it's more than just those communities, these communities that are named are selfish when it comes to themselves, are selfish and are inclusive?
You can come to that conclusion, man. It's
and I mean
easy
selfish.
to come to that conclusion.
I mean selfish in a good way. I'm not talking about
right.
saying F, everybody else. I'm talking about selfish, like, yo, this is self-preservation for us.
Right, but when you like the point I was making earlier, when you think about in terms of dietary stuff, man, they got specific stores that they shop at. You know what I'm saying that gives them the things that they're used to eating. Whereas Chinese and Jewish people and Arab people, they got certain stores that they go to, and those stores that they go to are stores that's geared towards their community. Man. That's how their dollars stay in the area that it stays in. You know what I'm saying? They are supporting their groceries, and they're supporting, different places where they shop at that that supports their community. Whereas we all over the place, man. We shop wherever. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, you think about it, and this is not a healthy thing, man. But when you think about hog maws and pig feet and greens and stuff like that, so-called soul food, is it healthy? No, we can't
Yo,
say it's a healthy.
it's well, it depends on whether or not you like pig or not. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
What I'm saying is, it's not a healthy thing, but when last time you bought some ham hocks? Them jaws is like $18 now. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, they always been expensive, but I agree. That's a good
No,
point, man.
they haven't always been expensive. I remember getting neck bones and those type of things, man, for like $3-4 for three. You know what I'm saying? Now because the outside world see there's market there. You know what I'm saying? Long story short, I'm saying that our money don't stay in our community, man, because we go wherever they're selling it at. You know what I'm saying? How many black grocers are there out there? Food chain, grocery chains and stuff like that that's in the black community that keeps the money in the black community. You know what I'm saying? We don't produce cars and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So we have to go to another community to spend money on cars. You know what I'm saying? When we buying houses, we deal with banks and stuff like that. That's outside of our community. So it's real easy to say that our dollars don't stay in our community, but as a consumer, we don't produce anything in our community.
No, see that I gotta disagree with you, bro. I gotta disagree with you because first of all, there are black banks. There are black-owned car business. They may not be in the middle of the hood, but they are there. They're out there. But can we say that we are? Hold on for 1 second, guys. Hey, pick it up for me, Jaquari.
Oh, shit. Y'all both went on me. Oh my God. All right. Funny thing happened to me today. I was at work and well, no, I'm not gonna tell y'all that. Man. Okay. Damn, they all right. Well, I'm Uncle Spoke. I enjoy long walks on the beach, sunset. Yeah. I'll just sit here and wait. I'm glad I ain't drunk right now because I would be handling this a lot differently. But overall, this is what I want. I mean, I wanted to be on the screen, and this is my wish. And I was granted my wish.
Jaquari, I apologize, man. I didn't know Damon was just gonna flash out like that. But
No, I'm not. It's you still have a life to live. I understand that.
yeah, it's got some things going on, man. No. But let me pick this up real quick, and if I leave again, guys, I already told you what's going on.
We know you got your business to take care of, man. We understand.
Yeah. So, but look, here's what I'm saying to you. All the things that you named, they are black-owned businesses like that. And what I see is we, and this is generalizing more than anything, when we were allowed to leave our neighborhoods and go into stores we weren't allowed to go into in general, that's what we did. Not knowing that we were putting out of business the mom and pop, the black-owned businesses that was in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like I can say down here in Raleigh, there are meat markets, right? In the middle of the black neighborhood that everyone goes to, where you can get everything. You know what I'm saying? And I see it mostly in the South. Now, and my picture view of everything is only limited to what I can see. But living in Michigan, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, and here, I've seen a lot of black-owned businesses, right? But I haven't seen a lot. That's wrong. I've seen black-owned businesses, but I haven't seen a lot of black-owned businesses. I've seen black men and women work for businesses. You know what I'm saying? And if we were to change that narrative and to really put a conscious effort, because that's why I brought up earlier, do you think there is a selfish collective community-wise?
I mean, but this is why I was all jumbled earlier or whatever, man. Outside of Johnson and Johnson and a couple other large black-owned companies or whatever, it's really not a lot that I can name. And in regards to our community, when we were desegregated and allowed to venture out into other communities or whatever, and we seen their products, and we said, okay, well, if I buy a Cadillac, then that will put me on par with my white counterparts. If I buy a Frigidaire refrigerator, I had the same thing as white boys got, and that was important to us, and it's still important to us.
Yeah.
And Damon made a good point, I believe, Keith, when he said that we don't really create anything outside of sports and entertainment.
Bro, that is all right. That's what we are made to see.
Yeah.
But I don't really believe that, because you can open up. You remember how they used to have yellow pages, right? Mm-hmm. They had sections where it was black businessmen in it.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? And then you got Google. You can pull them up if you want to go in that direction. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But what we deal with stereotypes.
Because the business is always funny with a black man. You can't never
Yeah, that
no,
that foolishness. Yeah,
that's bullshit. People don't understand, man, that an established business, man, they need time to work the goddamn bugs out.
Yeah,
they need time, man, to work on the product, to bring it up to industry standards or whatever, man.
But let me ask you this: what if they're there, but the stereotype is always attached to them?
But see, you got to ask yourself this question, man. As a community, do we make an effort to seek out black business owned
I do.
or whatever?
I do.
I think a lot of people do. I think a lot of people do, but I don't think a lot of black people, man, in this country have access to a lot of it, man. Sometimes it goes unknown. You know what I'm saying? And like Leek said, if you can go somewhere and get it cheaper, you know what I'm saying? What do you do? I mean, there's a choice in that too.
But
out of fairness, you asked the question: why are our black dollars circulating in our community? You know what I'm saying? I just gave my opinion about it, why it wasn't. But I think those were the most stark answers that I could give, man.
Yeah.
You go to a community with just Jews and stuff like that. They got grocery stores. They shop kosher.
They shop each other, brother. Here's the thing. The only thing that I can slightly disagree with you is, yes, they have kosher food, but they shop each other. This is what they're doing. They're not. It's not the fact that they have different cuisine, bro. They shop each other because
So
they sell kosher meats and everything in other grocery stores too.
Right, but I'm just speaking in terms of what's what I'm talking about is when a mom is going to shop for the family to get food. You know what I'm saying? She goes to a specific store that she goes to, whatever community that you're looking at. Whereas on the flip side of it, a black African American mom or black mom goes to shop for food. She's going to go where the best prices are. You know what I'm saying? And that might not include a black owned business. You know what I'm saying? Like Mickey said, do I buy if I'm buying, if I got $50, you know what I'm saying? Do I, I can go to Walmart and get 4 steaks, like she said, but I go to the black grocery store and I can only get 2. What choice you think she's gonna make?
Well, but you think about it. If you got $50, to Malika's point, if you got $50, and it depends on who you feeding, whether or not you're gonna get the 4 steaks or not. You know what I'm saying? So if it's just the 2 of you, you're gonna get 2 steaks, right? But if you're feeding a family, you go buy the 4 steaks. There's common sense to it. And I'm not telling you, look, people expect you to. People, when I mention this kind of stuff to people, they think I'm trying to have them sacrifice. Because why do we always, and I'm playing the advocate right now, man, and I'm not disagreeing with y'all on nothing, but I wanted y'all to grind this out. You know what I'm saying? Why is it that when it comes to doing things black owned, there's a stigma to it?
see, I don't have that. I don't believe I have that stigma. Like I don't
I'm
believe
speaking in general.
dealing with the black business owner. I don't feel like I'm sacrificing anything.
That's what I'm saying. I'm speaking generally, man. Not individually. I'm speaking generally. Why is it a stigma? Because it is definitely a stigma generally. And I've always, now, if you're dealing with a damn shade tree mechanic and he happened to be black, of course he got some gum and some chicken wire to get you on the road. This shit ain't gonna last. You feel what I'm saying? But if you got a black mechanic that's actually certified, he gonna charge you just like any other mechanic charge you. But the work is gonna be right.
Well, let me throw this out at you. We throw this out at both you guys, man. When you look at any health industry, man, you know there's that stigma out there in terms of black women and health and all that stuff. Do they garner the same support from white hospitals and white doctors, stuff like that, as opposed to black doctors? When a sister have a black doctor, you know what I'm saying, the odds of her or her baby surviving a childbirth goes up exponentially and shit, man. It goes up, and they feel that support. But the thing about it is this: how many black doctors are out there for them to gain that support? You know what I'm saying? How many black doctors are out there where people can go to and feel safe? You know what I'm saying? And get the right amount of health care that they deserve or feel, as opposed to going to a regular, another doctor, and they don't believe what you're saying is true, and then something tragic winds up happening. You know what I'm saying? We as a people need to understand that there should be a effort made in our community to make sure that we have doctors and dentists or whatever that look like us, because they're going to give us that care that we deserve, because it's personal. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to the other side.
That's a good
point.
point.
To us. So it's all about accessibility, man. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have the accessibility, you're not gonna keep the same dollars in your community, man.
But in terms of healthcare, though, man, I mean, again, I'll take it back to the movement, man. I mean, our goal was to be able to go into a hospital and be treated. at the time, we didn't necessarily say that we wanted to go into a hospital and be treated by a black doctor. So I mean, it's like, we as a whole community, we kind of picking our salad, man.
When you become, and speaking in general again, because you can't be specific with this because there's so many layers to it. See that and you know what's so tragic about it is you can't. Sometimes what we need to do is deal with each layer individually, but we put them on top of each other and try to get one solution, right? Me personally, I lost my train of thought that quick, but I just think, to be honest with you, that there's always going to be, because we've always been conditioned and been bombarded by the negative aspect of things. Even the strongest of us is affected by it. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to healthcare, I don't care if you're white or black. You know what I'm saying? But Malika,
I don't care. Look. I love black people, but shit, I ain't gonna suffer for them.
This what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
That
Absolutely.
is absolutely
reasonable.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Of course. And that's what I wanted to do. And I forget what I was saying earlier, but I think it was a great point, but I'm gonna leave it alone. But let's think about what you and Damon was alluding to, Jaquari. The negative parts of African American businesses or just situations, right? Where Malika talked about the stakes, in which if you don't have a farmer, if you're not within a farmer's network, because they have collectives, right? But these mom and pop stores aren't lucky enough to be in those collectives, so they have to pay higher prices for their food. You see what I'm saying?
Is that the case, or is it that the mom and pop stores go into business with the intention of getting rich?
No.
Let me say now.
This is why we call them mom and pop. But go ahead.
Any person, white, black, red, or green, any person who opens a business has aspirations, of making money and being comfortable and being rich at some point.
Yeah.
But I'm asking you, is it the case that black people try to get rich a little quicker and don't really consider them long term?
I think that's a stereotype, bro.
It is a stereotype.
That's a stereotype.
Okay.
No, because let me tell you something. This is what I'm saying. If you get into a business, especially one that you love, speaking in general, that you love, you're gonna put in all the hours and you're gonna go in for the long run. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Of course you want to make money. Of course, if you could possibly get rich, this what you know what I'm saying, that's what you're shooting for. But really and truly, when you have a certain business, you're either great at it, right? Or you love it. Or combining of the two. You feel what I'm saying? Like mom and pop stores. They were named mom and pop stores for a reason. I mean, family businesses, the mother and father ran the business. But what we do is we raise our children to be better than us, right? So if that worked, who's gonna want to stay and keep the store open? Because I can almost guarantee that those mom and pop stores that was in the neighborhood only had to shut down because the owners passed away and the children did not take up the mantle.
Or they was offered the bag.
They offered the bag if they was too old to run it. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, If you see these stores that shut down, it's not because of anything, for the simple fact there's nobody either bought it or the child didn't. And this is a big assumption for me. The child just didn't want to do it.
Thing about it is this, man. I think, man, because of the stereotypical bullshit, man, a lot of people would assume that the black-owned businesses are not going to give you credit. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is, do you have a what do you call it, man? When you have not a tally, but you could go to a black-owned grocery store and say, hey, you know what? Let me pick up these pieces or whatever, and I'll pay you or the first of the month or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We under the assumption that doesn't happen in black businesses. You know what I'm saying? But if you go to a Chinese-owned store or whatever, they got deals all over the place. You know what I'm saying? They making deals. They saying, hey, man, you know what? Just bring it back to me next time. Now, we don't give our own people that same. We don't think that our own people are conducting the same type of business.
Those some of those same Asian-owned stores won't even let you use a goddamn debit card for anything less than $10.
And there it is. It's that too. But if you go to a black-owned business, they say, "Oh, I need you to spend more than $10 to buy this product on your debit card." I mean, who would you hold it against? The Chinese-owned store or the black person? You know what I'm saying? Who would you scrutinize more when they all conducting business the same way?
Well, that's laying back to that stereotype. These brothers is always trying to get over. Oh man, you trying to do this? You try? Why can't always looking for the deal? No, what I'm looking for is what I pay for. You understand what I'm saying to you? Sometimes you have to go to people who will work on the cheap and give you a decent job, do a decent job for you. Sometimes you got that, man. You feel what I'm saying? That's just how life is, right? So I'm not denying that. But me personally, I look for black-owned businesses, and I read their reviews before I call them. And if you have somebody complaining, right, I put that in my mind when I call. You feel what I'm saying? Because really and truly, you can meet somebody. You can personally meet somebody and tell whether or not they standing on their own business. You feel what I'm saying? Because I was blessed to meet brothers, electricians, carpenters, to come into this house. We had this house built. So I had people come in and do work, right? And the black men were professionals. Came in and did the job and did good work. And I paid them. And I'm sorry to say, I when they left, I had a little bit of pride. You want to know why? Because I was spitting in the eye of that stereotype.
But like Leek just said, I mean, that's honest. That's being honest right there.
What's that?
What's on the screen right now? What she was saying. I think.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to respond to it because don't get me wrong. See, here's the thing. If I gotta convince you to go black, right? And I'm not saying that you're doing this, Malika. I'm saying if I have to give you a reason to shop black, right? Then you don't want to shop black. You just want to get it done and you're good. You feel me?
No, you know what? I think it's more universal than that, bro. I think, man, as a consumer, people who's trying to sell you something, man, they have to cater to your needs, man. They have to make you feel like they're worthy of your hard-earned money, bro. And that supersedes color.
What what particular
Out-
thing, man? I don't know.
outside of them carrying the product that you need, what other?
Why would you care?
What do you mean? Why would I care?
Why would you care that you said something about that they need to kind of, and paraphrase you, they kind of let you know that they are worthy of your dollars. If they are professional, then they worthy of your dollars. I don't give a shit about that bedside manner, dude.
Really?
And if I misunderstood you, just let me know.
I'm simply saying, as a consumer, the person that's serving or the person that's just trying to sell you their product, you damn right they have to earn your business, man. You know what I'm saying? They have to earn your business, because if you don't feel like it's earned,
what do you mean earn
then
your business?
you are more apt to go somewhere where you might find that same product cheaper.
I get that, but what do you mean earn your business, man? I don't understand that part.
If you, let me see, how can I put this, man? If you had two barbers you was going to, and a man was just cutting your hair how you wanted to cut it, and he was charging you $1 or $2 more than the place you go to, who asks you, hey man, you know what? I have a suggestion, but how do you want your hair to be done? And then they giving you a fair price. Where you going, man?
Okay.
See, I don't operate like that, man. As far as the fair price or whatever, man. I go to where, I mean, and this ain't got nothing to do with color or anything, man. But if I go to a barber or whatever, I'm sitting in the chair, and I might suggest something, but he's a professional. I might say, yeah, give me a 1, and he say, well, shit, bro, I don't know how vain y'all, man, but if I take it down to a 1, then everybody gonna see that bald spot. I trust his judgment, black, white, red, or green.
Right. But that's interaction. That's catering to your need.
So if he charged me $1, $1 2 more, I appreciate it. I don't care.
Yeah, if he had that reputation, you know what I'm saying? But it's still engagement there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit down in the barber's chair, man, and it's in an all black owned barbershop, right? And I'm sitting down in the chair, and I'm willing to give him a $5 tip or a $10 tip if my damn line is messed up. Do I say, I can fix that? I can go home and fix that, but at least I've supported the black owned business. No, man, your whole intention and purpose is to get what you want, man, and feel appreciated in the process, man.
Yeah.
You don't just do shit, man, because you know what I'm saying, you guilted into it, or you want to be made to feel good about a situation, and they giving you a shoddy product, man. You know what I'm saying? The person still has to have some moniker of pride in the work that they do.
I get it. But I mean, if we keep barbers as the example, man, I mean, there's okay, say there's a set price for a haircut. Okay, now when you come and sit in my chair, we've already agreed that there's a set price for this haircut. Now, if you want me to cut lines and designs and shit all in your hair for the same set price, it's not going to happen.
Well, I think that's I mean, obviously, man, you're gonna if you want the whole shebang, man, you're gonna pay the price for that.
Yeah, but
you're gonna pay the price for that. I get that, man. What I'm saying is, when you spend your dollar, man, there's a certain amount of expectation, and I'm not falling on any type of stereotypical bullshit or whatever. I'm simply saying, if I go to a white man, he cut my hair and he do a shoddy ass job, I'm not dealing with him because he didn't satisfy me as a customer, as a consumer. I'm not going to do that. I hold the same standard to a black man who cut my hair. I hold the same standard. Now, if he's doing a great, wonderful job, then I feel good about myself giving that man a tip. And I feel good about you know what I'm saying, frequencing that establishment, man. But there has to be a place where it is at least, you know, satisfactory in terms of me spending my dollar.
Okay. If I said to you, there's an underlying expectation from the black consumers perspective that if they're dealing with a black business, they just have an expectation for them to go above and beyond. Would that be far fetched?
Yeah. No, it's not far fetched. I mean, that's expectation. You know what I'm saying? That's what.
Why is it an expectation though? For them to give you, you know, extra bells and whistles or whatever just because you're black.
Because they look like you and they have a certain amount of understanding of how you know, or some expectation of how you want it to be with your input. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You're not gonna go to a black barber and he give you a shitty haircut, man, and then you're gonna be like, well, hey man, you know, I'm gonna continue to go to this brother because you know what I'm saying, he's trying to build this shit off the ground and he black. So I'm gonna do my part and support it. But you walking out with a slanted hairline.
Yeah, but I'm also not gonna go to a black business and expect them to work some kind of miracles just because, you know, we have that in common.
Miracle, a hairline is not a miracle, man. That's just basic.
No,
You know
hairline's not a miracle.
They practice on balloons to make sure your hairline's straight, bro.
A hairline's not a miracle, but you know, hook me up, brother. What is that? If I do business with a black owned you know, business person, whatever, I'm not looking for a hookup. I'm gonna pay top dollar. Now, if they fuck me up, you know, I'm gonna complain just like I would complain at any other business. But I mean, it's not gonna shower me towards black businesses.
No, that wasn't the point I was making, man. I'm speaking in terms of the consumer and the consumer's expectation. That's what I was speaking of. And everybody has to toe that line, man. Whoever in business has to toe that line. If you know, you have to give me, it has to be a certain amount of professionalism involved in that, man. And if you supersede it, then hey, you know what? Tips and all that stuff galore, man. But if you don't, then it's okay for me to question.
But what is professionalism? What does that have to do with the hookup? Want to be hooked up? Want to have a little extra than what you're supposed to have from a business aspect, you know, from a business point of view.
Well, I think that's all determined on the barber and the person that's in the seat, man. You know, whatever agreement they come to, that's on a personal thing, man. But in terms of consumerism, man, and expectation, I think that there has to be a certain professionalism there, man. You know,
yeah, and the professionalism is that line that says that, you know, I'm gonna treat you, you know, like a respected customer, and I'm gonna do this service for you for this price, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if I have a product as a business owner, if I have a product and I fell for every time somebody said, you know, show me the love, man, and I fell for it, I'm gonna show people love myself out of business. Because I have a product here, right? I have a service here, right? And I've been through a certain amount of training and licensing and shit to be able to offer that service to the public, right?
Right.
So why shouldn't I charge as much as my white counterparts?
I wasn't saying that. I wasn't saying that you should lower your prices, man. I'm saying dealing with consumers, what you advertise is what you should get. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it should be on a level of professionalism. Is my point. And I am simply saying, just because that person who's providing the service, just because they're black and they give me shoddy service, don't mean that I have to continue to deal with them. You know what I'm saying, if you're black and you go to a certain type of business, you're gonna provide the best, product that you're gonna provide, man, to make your if it's just a simple hairline, you want your customers walking away saying, man, now that dude gave me a hell of a cut. My shit look like Steve Harvey shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the expectation, bro. That's expected. Every time you go in there and get your shit lined up, you should expect your shit to be crisp and sharp and clean like that. You know what I'm saying? Anything that's less than that, I mean, what is that, man? Is that false advertisement? And if it doesn't meet up to your standards, do you continue to frequent that place, man? You have every right to say, "Hey, man, I didn't get my money's worth, so I need to look in other places."
But I spoke to that earlier, though. I mean, if it is a new business, and people are just getting their feet wet in this thing, don't they need some time to kind of hone their craft?
Absolutely. I wouldn't deny anybody that, man. I mean, that's pride, man. That's good business practices, man. But this, like I spoke earlier about, having a black doctor and black nurses and stuff like that as an African American person. You know what I'm saying? Statistically, they give black people in this country better service. Black people in this country, especially women, survive it, man. Plus, they realize that because the person that's giving them the service look like them, there's something extra there. There's something extra there, and you don't go away with certain things, man, that you would if you went to a white doctor, where they say, "Hey, man, you know what? I'm not gonna give you this medication, man, because you guys stereotypically are prone to be addicted. So I'm gonna give you Tylenol, and your pain and suffering don't matter." You know what I'm saying? Plus, quote unquote, you have a higher pain tolerance. You know what I'm saying? Those are things that our women are going through. You know
In terms of black doctors, man, throughout my adult life, I've only had two, and they were both ladies, well, both females. The first one, I think I might have told you about it a while back, but the first one, our very first appointment, man, she came in and she was, doing the ear, eye, nose, and throat thing, and when she was examining my head and shit, man, her hands were smelling like cigarettes. I said, "What the fuck?" I said, "You a doc? How long you been practicing medicine?" We had a little conversation or whatever. And I'm like, "And you was outside smoking?" I'm a smoker, so I'm not ridiculing her for that. But I'm like, you a doctor though, and not that you can't smoke, but you ain't wash your hands before you came in to examine me. Now, that experience compared to my doctor now, which is a black woman, two totally different things. So I get what you're saying entirely, man. It's just my opinion, man, is especially a young black businessman, you got to show them some grace, at least until they get their legs up under it, man.
I get what you're saying. I understand that, man. Because how many black businesses fail because whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? You got to give them grace, but still again, as a consumer, you have an expectation, man. And there's nothing wrong with holding black businesses to that standard, man. You know, we as consumers should expect that. Hold them to that standard, and that's okay.
Yeah, I can agree. I totally agree with you. Totally agree with it.
And then when they meet that standard, be proud of that fact and support them the best you can, man. Support them best you can. And it all depends on the individual, man. It all depends on the individual. But I think, man, that you know, when it comes to consumerism, man, it ain't just black people holding black professionals to a standard. We should hold everybody to that standard. Everybody. If I go into a white establishment, white owner, whatever, and I get followed around the store, I get treated like shit, then I'm not going to support them. I'm not going to, support that business and speak out about it. Speak out about it. How many black people went to a white establishment as a consumer to buy something and they got treated like shit and it goes unsaid, unspoken. No, nobody says anything, but yet you see black people walking into that business all the time, day in and day out. If you're not gonna take my money and treat me like shit, bro. That's not gonna happen. I don't care what color you are. Personally, I could take a stand and be like, man, I'm not dealing with that. You know what I'm saying? Not with my hard-earned cash. That's not happening.
Very good points, bro. Very good points. Let's move on to the next question, bro. All right. It was the one I was watching a podcast this morning when I woke up and was getting ready for work, and it was it's called the podcast is called 8 at the Table podcast, and I'm not sure what the host name are, but they got on the subject. They got on the subject of what it means when a woman says, "I need to put myself first," and what does it mean when a man says, "I need to put myself first?" And their the panelists, their responses was at two very different ends of the spectrum, and it hit me like an epiphany, man, that we males and females, we just think different. We just think different. I was at work today and I was talking to a couple of a couple of my coworkers, who happen to be females, and I asked them, that very same question, what does it mean to you when you hear a man say that, they need to put themselves first, and they went on to explain, what they thought it meant. And I told them what it meant when I heard a woman say it.
Right.
But I told them, in terms of relationships or whatever, when a man says, I need to put myself first or whatever, it's two totally different things, two totally different situations or whatever. And wow, okay, here I go again.
What do you mean by what makes you feel like it's two totally different things?
I lost my train of thought, man.
Dude.
I lost my train of thought, brother.
Are you saying that when a woman says, let me make sure I got the question right. When a woman says, I need to put myself first, you think that's different from what a man says? when he makes the same statement?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because that wasn't like the gist of my conversation with them. The gist of my conversation with them was shit. It just left my head again. Yeah. Hold on for a second.
All right.
Okay, yeah, my bad. It was we got into a conversation about when when a man is about to get into a relationship with a woman and possibly ready to propose to that woman, we're not necessarily looking at that woman's potential. Like when I got with my wife and eventually asked her to marry me, I didn't really give a shit about what she was going to do in the future because our futures were I planned on our futures being connected. So I didn't care. She could have been infirm in a wheelchair or bedridden or whatever. She was going to be my wife, and we were just going to move on from there. But I can't necessarily say that when it comes to what she was thinking at the time. I don't know what she was thinking at the time, but the ladies I was talking to, they kept mentioning the word potential. You know, well, he's got to have potential, and you know, I gotta be comfortable with the picture of what we can build. And I'm saying, like, from a male point of view, we don't think like that. You're already the product. If we pursue you, especially if we pursue you for marriage, then you're what we want. And what you develop into over time is really not a major concern for us in the beginning. It's not a motivation for us. But women, it, women tend to turn dudes into projects. You know, they tend to try to see if they can fix them here and tweak them there or whatever. And that's not that wasn't my motivation.
Right. I see what you're saying. I hear the point you're making. You now correct me if I'm wrong. If you fall in love with a person, you fall in love with them and their personality, and what comes beyond that, man, is just icing on the cake, right?
Yeah, it's either icing on the cake or the shit that you deal with, because
Right.
that's life. It's either going to be good or bad, and whether you choose to stick around to deal with it is entirely up to you. Now, is it really fair to put men in the box of what they're going to be when at the time they probably have no idea themselves? Is that fair?
I I think, man, I think that going into a situation, I can't speak for women, man. Somebody got to come in, on the chat or whatever, and chime in on that, man. I don't know. I genuinely speak to the individual person. You know what I'm saying? I can't be every man. You know what I'm saying? I can't be whether your Prince Charming. I can only be myself. Now, if that works for you, then you know. As far as potential, your potential, your expectation in me, as far as potential wise, you got to temper that shit, man. You have to temper that in regards of who it is or what type of man you think I am on a personal note.
Okay, I'm glad you said that because I said something similar, and you know what the question was they asked me?
Hmm.
Well, why do I have to settle? And it was that question. It shocked the hell out of me because I'm like, you're choosing a life partner or a potential life partner, and you think that the person who you give it, attention to, the person you're attracted to, is settling.
Well, I
I
think
mean, if you,
that well,
I mean, if y'all just if y'all are just fucking around, and hey, I get it. But if there's any degree of seriousness to it, then eventually you're gonna have to stop testing.
well, you know what? In reality, man, some people do that. Now, I'm not just going to put it on women, man. Men and women both do the same thing. If you go into a situation where you got to say, hey, you know what? This person had to meet up to my expectation. Then, what's your motivation there? Is your motivation is to be in a relationship where you can build something, or do you have an expectation of what it is that you expect for yourself, and you're trying to determine whether or not that man meets that expectation? You have to be honest with that from the very beginning. You know what I'm saying? You have to be honest with that from the very beginning. But now, this is just my opinion. I don't think those women who take that stance, I don't think that they are honest in that situation. Because if they were, then they're gonna find themselves alone and by themselves, man. You know, because any individual person is gonna be like, you have this expectation, but what does that have to do with me? You know what I'm saying? What does it have to do with me?
It,
If you want to be in a relationship with me, then you have the understanding of who I am and what I'm trying to move in my life. You don't lump me in with everybody else, because that's a recipe for disaster right there, man. And people wind up being by themselves, man, when they think like that or they have that expectation. You know, what attracted you to the person, man? What got your attention? Was it potential? Then don't be upset when it don't work out. You know what I'm saying? Unless the potential that you see is that person and their strengths. You know what I'm saying? That person and their strengths and what it is that you're learning about that person. You know what I'm saying? It's all about individual. It's all about the individual aspects of people, man. You know what I'm saying? If you see potential in that guy or that woman, and you say, man, this person, man, I see potential in them. I wonder if they're gonna be what I need them to be. You know what I'm saying? As far as getting what I want, or you're gonna look at that person and say, man, that's a good dude, or that's a good woman, and they got a big heart, and they're hard workers, and I love their personality, and I love who they are and what they stand on. That's something totally different, bro.
but what if you come to that realization, but you find yourself in a space where you're still constantly checking for flaws?
Then it's not for you. It's not for you, and then you got to ask yourself, what's your motivation? Especially if you're dealing with a person who's loving, has a good heart, and who's actually giving you the opportunity to fall in love with them. You know what I'm saying? You have to ask yourself, what's your motivation? If you're constantly asking that question, then I'm not for you. I'm not for you, especially if I'm being open and honest and I'm being truthful with you and I'm trying to be that person in your life, and you still asking questions. You know what I'm saying, you're not thinking about me whatsoever. You're thinking about some Prince Charming motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And what it is that you feel or that you deserve, and all that. If who I am ain't enough, then you know what I'm saying? Then to not make an enemy, you need to say, and you know what? We could be friends, but it don't work. You ain't who I thought you was. Well, you don't have to be so callous in it, but you know, sometimes shit don't work out, man. Most times. Most times it don't work out, man. But that don't mean that you got to belittle somebody because they ain't what you want, who and what you want. You want to belittle them. And it's okay for you to have expectations and what you feel you deserve. It's okay for that. But you don't lead nobody on, and you don't be that callous, man. where you're constantly questioning shit. You know what I'm saying? If you compare me to your last so-called relationship or whatever, and this person met a certain thing that satisfied you, but you don't see it in me, then why are you with me, or why are we even going through the motions? Why ain't you with that person? You know what I'm saying?
I find myself asking, like, at what point do you, and I might have already said it, man. At what point do you just live and love and be in a relationship, man? I mean, it's got to be exhausting. And I had no idea, man. I knew very well that there are steps to courtship. I understood that, but when my steps end, her steps are apparently still going, and I don't understand. I don't understand the end goal. I know what my end goal was. I know what my end goal is. And as a man, I could say, if you choose this person as your life mate, I know what your end goal is too. But being in a position, man, to where you constantly have to prove, outside of the daily affirmations, I love you, and this or that or whatever, you have to prove that you meet this standard. It's exhausting.
But here's the thing, man, and this not be this might not be a comfort in hearing, man. When you constantly prove yourself, that's a choice that you make. Man. That's a choice that you make personally. You do that.
It's
Nobody's
it's it's
making you do it.
it's human nature, man, to answer questions when somebody is constantly asking.
Yeah, but self-preservation is human nature too, bro. Self-preservation is a human choice too. You know what I'm saying? If you at that point where you're like, why do I have to why do we have to continue to have this conversation? When you know that you all in. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, if you have to answer those questions to prove yourself, then are both parties all in? I'm not finna, if I have any type of self-worth, I'm just talk about in general. If I have any type of self-worth within myself, you're not going to continue to question whether or not I'm good for you. You're not finna do that. Either you with it or you not. You know what I'm saying? And and you can save a lot of heartache, pain, and resentment if you just say, this ain't working out for me. Now, if I'm into you, am I gonna be devastated? Yeah. But would I be more devastated if that person led me on, or if the person was honest with me? You know what I'm saying? We have this as human beings. We have this tendency to think that rejection is the worst thing that happened to us. But sometimes people just don't coincide or get along with each other, man. And that's not a negative thing. That's just people coming to a rationale. And that rationale is, yeah, I like you, man. You good to hang out with, you cool, but I don't see anything further than that. That don't diminish you. That's just two people, man, coming to an understanding that it ain't gonna work. Am I making sense?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of sense, yes, sir. Keith, just to bring you up to speed, man. We were talking about the question that I sent you this morning,
Okay.
and I kind of informed Damon about the conversation I had with my coworkers, and the fact that I believe that men and women truly do have different thinking patterns, man. I mean, it is something else to try to ask somebody. Yeah.
That's true.
I
like that.
I say this.
Perfection isn't
But
attainable. That's true.
from whose point of view does it implode though? I mean, you know, you when you think about the amount of men who are blindsided by the women in their lives by divorce because you know he thought they were happy, but you know she wanted a trait that he didn't possess. He might have checked all the other boxes, but it's just that one thing. And he very well could have all his boxes unchecked.
I promise you guys, give me another 10 minutes and I'll be right back.
Is there
10 minutes.
you getting it taken care of?
Yes, sir.
All right.
That was that. Good.
I'm a strong proponent on the fact that, man, if you have an awareness of yourself, man, you understand that what you give up is what you choose to give up, bro. You're not forced into it. It's what you choose.
You're not forced into it, man. But you know, can there be a situation where somebody takes advantage of that, man?
Yeah, people can take advantage of that, but people can take advantage of that, and you can feel that as a person that's giving. You can feel that, man. But did you betray yourself? Is my point.
You betray yourself all the time in relationships, man. Don't you?
You betray yourself, man, if you was tricked into something, man. But if you was genuine in your feelings and your thoughts or whatever, that's not a betrayal, bro. That's you being honest with yourself.
Has marriage always been in your nature?
In my nature,
mm-hmm.
In my nature, all I know is marriage because everybody that I grew up with, when I was raised with, were married, man.
That's not the question I asked you. The question I asked you is, even you know, since you was a little boy, I mean, has marriage always been in your nature? And what I mean by that question is, when you were before you were married, and you were out and about and everything, you were a certain kind of person or whatever. How long did it take you to develop into a husband?
What made me develop into a husband is my experience, man. You know what I'm saying? I, fortunately, or however you choose to look at it, I was in a position where I knew what it is that I wanted and what I didn't want.
Mm-hmm. So, that being said, once you knew what it was you wanted and didn't want, did you just automatically start act accordingly, or did you have to learn how to do that? Because you just said you learned through experience, right?
Right.
So my point is, we as men are sort of expected to go against our nature.
Oh, so. If you, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but if you provide a situation with with your significant other, man, you being your best self, were you persuaded? Or were you just going by your own nature, man? You was just going about what you felt in your heart.
I like to think I was going by what was in my heart. I mean, but for me to say that there was no manipulation involved, that's not realistic.
It's not realistic.
No, because hell, I use manipulation to get her. So why wouldn't I think that she didn't? Why would I think that she did?
You. Well, I can't even speak on that, bro. That's a personal experience, man. That's a personal experience. Nobody can speak to that, man. You know, if you're honest, if you're honest enough to admit that, then you know what your motivation was, man.
Now, what sort of connotation are you giving the word manipulation? Because I don't. Well, I mean, I'm not putting a negative connotation on that.
Okay, then explain to me what you meant, because when you say manipulation, that's a negative connotation, isn't it?
No,
Not
the word
always. Not always.
the word manipulation has neither has from its root, neither has a negative or a positive connotation. It all depends on the conversation or whatever. And when I said manipulation, I meant uh, I paid attention to what she liked, and I figured out how to be around her, and vice versa. That's manipulation.
That's manipulation.
Yeah, you don't think?
I think, man, in that particular situation, that's not manipulation. That is understanding what you want. That's understanding what you want and being in the position to be able to provide it. There's no manipulation involved in that whatsoever.
Well,
And not unless not
just
unless you
because
feel not unless you
just be,
feel that you have to use
Get
trickery.
off of there.
yeah, but
Put it in the phone.
just because I knew what she wanted doesn't necessarily mean that that's what I wanted to give her. I wanted her to be happy, so I made adjustments to meet those standards for her. Doesn't necessarily mean that I had those standards in me.
Hey,
I,
can I answer this, because I know y'all chopped it up, and I just wanted to answer this real quick because I thought about this all day. Just in reference to, and I know y'all probably moved on from the original question, so I just want to answer the original question. There's always a catch-22 when a man and a woman talks about what they want from it and what they're willing to give from a relationship. Because if you're heavy-handed in either one, you're gonna be lonely, or you're gonna be miserable. You're gonna be butting heads all the time. To me, my personal opinion, relationships are not about, and I really mean this, they're not about you being able to have the higher ground, standing on the more firmer surface. Relationships with someone is taking a chance for the result. This is my opinion about it. Meaning that if it's a woman, say a woman says, I don't need a man. Just throwing it out there because that's the most sad thing. And when she says that, what is she really saying? Like I said, why is she actually saying that? And if you said, well, I don't need a relationship. A man says, I don't really need a relationship. I don't need this. Why is he actually saying it? It's not because he wants that actual action. It's because there's some pain, and this is just my opinion, there's some pain associated with it. You know what I'm saying? And this is not the complete answer, but what it is if you if you have an issue with it, it has to do with personalities more than right or wrong, because it's human feelings. How you personally feel. You feel what I'm saying? Like when it comes to manipulation, everybody allow themselves to be manipulated, man, in the good and the bad. Because what they're trying to do is look for the beautiful horizon. Hey, when I come back, because I know y'all doing a great job, I'm done with this situation out here, and then we're gonna close it up. So y'all, both of y'all, bring it on home, and y'all chop up what I just said.
uh, I could agree with it, with some aspects of what he just said. I mean, my overall point is, man, that relationships, you know, as hard as they are, the amount of work that it takes to, you know, to maintain one is just, it can be unfair sometimes, man. It really can be unfair because, you know, he mentioned one person holding higher ground than the other. It happens constantly. Happens constantly in relationships. You know, so being a prideful person, you know, do you make yourself satisfied with being on the losing team all the time?
If you're being genuine, man, are you on the losing team?
Well, I
I,
mean,
I think that's where pride sneaks into the equation, man. Pride. You know what I'm saying? You know, a person can give their best selves and and another person don't appreciate it. They feel like they lost in that equation.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? But when you speak about genuality, I mean, being genuine within yourself, you know what I'm saying? Is it okay for a person to come to a conclusion that it just didn't work out? You know what I'm saying? And it not working out don't mean that I was less than what that person expected. I just wasn't what that person wanted. And realizing that, man, in this interim, you know what I'm saying, is a good thing, bro. I believe. You know what I'm saying? Because if you fake and fraud through it, man, that's where the hard feelings come in. And you can go away respecting that person because they were honest with you and you wasn't led on. You know what I'm saying? How you feel about yourself is how you feel about yourself. Can't nobody change that. I mean, can't nobody. I mean, if you are insecure in your stance and how you feel as an individual person, the only way that's going to affect you in a negative aspect if you allow that person to make you believe that you wasn't good enough. Make you believe that you wasn't good enough. But what if, in that small chance, they wasn't mature enough to understand where you were coming from? So the onus is on them, not you. Especially if you're genuine in your stance and who you are. The onus is on them. Now they might go away with the attitude or the mindset that you wasn't good enough. But trust me, you know, later on down the line, they're gonna come to the realization that, damn, you know, maybe possibly I might have had a good thing. But because I was all about wanting and wanting, whatever, and I wasn't willing to make the same sacrifices that person was making to me, and I was being selfish in that regard, I might have lost out on something. And there is that, man. You know what I'm saying? I think people have the tendency, man, to believe that, you know, they the begin all and end all to every person. And we not that, man. There has to be some compromise. Nobody ever said being married was easy. It's work every day. Because that person that you're dealing with is the person that knows you the most. And if the shit ever becomes combative, who's going to tell you what they perceive your weakness is other than that person who believe that they know you? You know what I'm saying? And it's all hurt and it's all whatever. But at the end of the day, if you standing alone and you gave your you gave your level best, for you personally, that should be enough, man. That should be enough. You know, hopefully one day that person will come to understand that. If they don't, then you know what I'm saying? They simply wasn't for you. They simply wasn't for you. And it's a good damn thing that you realize that shit before it got real ugly. You know what I'm saying? Before you got real ugly, man. Nobody, man, gets along. Everybody had their days, man, where they're being selfish and shit. And the only thing that matters is what they need and what their expectation is. But when you in that mindset, in that mode, man, you're not thinking about the good shit. the good aspects. You're speaking out of anger and resentment. You're not speaking out of, you know, the other half of it, man, that meant something. You know, the other half of it that made you make the choice to put your stock in the person that you was trying to be with. Sometimes shit just don't work out, man. You know, doesn't make anybody evil. It's just human nature. You know, people got aspirations, bro. Hey, I feel this way. And if the person you're dealing with is not as inspirational, then it's going to be conflict, man. It doesn't mean that either person is bad. It doesn't mean that either person is bad. It's just shit just didn't work out. You know, and then you learn from that.
I dig it.
That's just one man's opinion.
I dig it. Hey, coming up on 2 hours, man. I think we had a pretty good run.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, we'll keep it back, man. You know, we probably go ahead and shut it down.
I think, man, this was a deep conversation, man. For real, bro.
Yeah, for really, yeah.
This is a deep conversation, man. I hope people will resonate with it, man, and understand whatever side they choose to be on, man. I hope they, you know, at least come to a resolution and say, you know what? Maybe I should look at shit different, or I'm gonna stay on my side.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's entirely up to them.
Mm-hmm. Now, it's the funniest thing, man. I was having a conversation with my wife earlier, and she was talking to me. She told me about a couple of coworkers that she has. They were talking about the podcast and everything. She said one of them, you know, had watched it, and she described it as, you know, just three brothers just sitting around just talking, just having conversation or whatever, you know. And you know, that's exactly how I describe it, you know, like to people I work with and shit like that, or anybody who would comes up in conversation with, you know what I mean? It's just us sitting around talking or whatever, man. And, you know,
Right.
This is something that, you know, really happens, you know, when we're together, when we're on the podcast, every Thursday before, you know, the day before the actual podcast, you know, we're on and we have conversations in, and we really talk to each other. We really do.
We definitely genuine about what the hell we talk about, man.
Yeah. You know,
we definitely genuine about it, man. I mean, you know, let the cause for what he made, bro.
Yeah. We absolutely, man, you know, invite y'all to join the conversation, man. You know, find us on YouTube. You know, our brother Keith, man, he's got us on the Insta, and what's the other one?
TikTok.
And
Ricky
TikTok.
Yeah, we on Ricky Ticky all day long.
Yeah. So check us out, man. Strong perspectives, man. Come on and join the conversation. You're more than welcome.
Did you guys see what Veronica said?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
Veronica said, I think when women say that they don't need a man, they're speaking from a physical standpoint meaning, if I can change my own, or I don't need it for that. You know what I mean? Okay. We need a man for companionship, intimacy, someone who can lead, but also sees me as a partner. I agree with that. But see, here's the thing, Veronica, and I'm just throwing this out there. When the assignment of a job in a relationship, right? When you assign a man's job is to take out the trash, the man's job is to go get this done, the man's job is to get, that really and truly is subjective. You're right. If you know how to get your oil changed or you know how to do whatever you do, that's fine because that's just an adult thing to do. But the last sentences you said are on point. That's what we all should be looking for. That's just my opinion.
I think that, man, people have to recognize the fact that it all depends on your relationship and what comes with it. If you're trying to raise a family, then you have to come to, if you genuine in producing and raising a family, you have to be genuine in compromise. And what I mean by that is that if I have all girls, man, I'm gonna speak to them about what it is to maintain their integrity, plus respect the man and shit. That's just simply what it is. You know what I'm saying? And that might not be just my opinion. Hey, man, I don't want my daughter to be subservient to any goddamn body. You feel what I'm saying? But I do expect him to respect their relationship. You know what I'm saying?
You say
so as an individual person, you got to figure out, as an individual person, you have to figure out how to coincide in that regard.
When you say
and everybody's different.
When you say subservient, right? When you say that, that's coming from your point of view, right? That's
Absolutely.
what you don't want. You know what I'm saying? See, like, to me, I'll be honest with you. If you have a way to raise your children or treat your wife and companion a certain way, as long as you're not abusing them, you know what I'm saying? You have to search for a common ground. See, that's where I think people make mistakes at, is searching for a common ground, man. You know, like if I have a strong-willed woman, right, wife, and I'm strong-willed, guess what we're gonna do if I'm not careful and she's not careful? We're gonna butt heads all the time. You understand? But then one of us has to say, you know what? I'm tired of this. Let's find some common ground. A lot of relationships that's thrown in our faces don't do that. They don't look for common ground. And I'm talking about what's thrown in our faces, not everyday people that we see, but movies and books and all this. There's no common ground. It is either it's the man's way, that's right, or it's the woman's way, that's right. So it's some of it has a lot to do with conditioning, to me. You know what I'm saying? But really and truly, I have to, that's always been my goal, is find common ground so I would like to be around this person. Arguing with this person all the time about the smallest shit is aggravating. It's aggravating. And I'm talking about from both parties, not just from the man getting it, but both, because we get into them little pissy fits too. Because my beer is warm. So why are you walking across the floor with them flip-flop, flippity-flop, flippity-flop? You're looking for the smallest shit to be mad about. You know what I'm saying? But to me, a lot of relationships is finding common ground and also establishing your line. Do not cross this line. You know what I'm saying? Because my line is so close to me. I give my wife and any woman that I had a relationship with, my line was so close that if you crossed it, you wanted to be cross with me. You wanted to have a problem with me. You feel me? But some people want to be arm's length. Some people half arm's length. It's the point I'm trying to make to you is you got to find common ground and find common respect for each other. That's all. And that's not going against anything you guys said. I wanted to throw my opinion out there, and I apologize to y'all because this was a little emergency that I had to deal with, and I know y'all held it down. You know what I mean? But it was all of a sudden I popped up out of here. But I apologize for that, guys.
Man, you fine, man. We understood what needed to happen, man.
I know that, but also I wanted our people out here to know that I'm apologizing to y'all, man, because that's about respect. That's all. That's all.
When you came back, we was wrapping up, man. So I think that's a good point to end on and everything. It's been a good conversation, fellas. I appreciate your time, and I look forward to the next.
What you saying is,
y'all too, man.
hey, mom, we was ready to go. Then you gonna come in here with that bullshit. Hey, look, we're here every Friday, 7:30, Strong Perspective Podcast. Do us a favor, go to our YouTube channel and bring your friends. Recommend our YouTube channels to your friends also. We're trying to make it a movement because what we talk about everyday living, people, and things. That's important to us. And what we're doing is promoting conversation amongst people, men and women. You know what I'm saying? Any last words, Jaquari and Damon?
I've spoken my piece, bro.
I think, man, that you go to the understanding, man, that there's work to be done, and everybody has to have an understanding and be willing to hear both sides. You know what I'm saying? Hi, you sis. I think, man, that if you go into the situation, man, when you realize that everybody's strong-willed and everybody has their whatever, where's the safe place? You know what I'm saying? In the place that you come to the understanding that's going to be respected. I think that matters more than anything, even if it irks you and shit. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell a person how to feel. You know what I'm saying? That's up to them to express to me how they feel. And I just go from there. We're gonna agree or we're gonna disagree, but that doesn't take away how we feel about each other.
All right. Well, it's all love. I love my Fridays, people. I love my Fridays. This is Strong Perspective Podcast. Have a wonderful, wonderful Memorial Day weekend.
Absolutely. And, enjoy each other's company.
And be safe.
Right.
All right. Peace.
Peace.